welcome back to the Cover 4 podcast brought to you by WTK's Rock Solid Sports, where we've got you covered for all things NFL with Bryson Wright, Jack Foster, Riley Haltom. I'm Joseph Bonanno, and we're coming to you digitally because it is Christmas break and we're all home for the holidays. But that doesn't mean we can stop giving you NFL content because the NFL doesn't stop for the holidays. In fact, it just moves back a day and they play on Saturdays in December instead of on Sundays. But probably the best week of the NFL that we've had so far this season. The playoffs have started early, my friends, and this week was insane. It started with a decent Thursday night game. The Saturday games were just crazy, or at least two of the three of them were. And then Sunday's games was just good game after good game after good game. I don't know how many games came down to the wire, but great games in the NFL. And like I said, the playoffs are here a little bit early, just in time for Christmas.
It's one of the greatest weekends in recent memory to me, Joseph. And it's, we'll find that out as we go through these games. But it's like every game, it was just you didn't see this coming. And like you said, these teams making late playoff pushes, all the excitement in the world going on. Nothing was cut and dry this weekend. You kept you on your toes the whole way through. And it was a lot of fun from start to finish.
Was it the week of the year?
Yes.
So far.
I think hands
so
down.
far. So far, week of the year. Well, let's get into week 15 as we always do. Let's start off with our games of the week, and there were a lot of good ones. I'll go first, and we'll start off with probably one of the craziest games I think I've ever watched in football, and that is the Vikings NFL history record-setting comeback win over the Colts on Saturday to start the Saturday games. It wasn't a prime. I mean, it was a primetime game because it was the only game on. But it's not like it wasn't the night game. It wasn't the second game on. It was the first game of the Saturday, the first Saturday game of the year, and it had everything. The Colts just came out and shocked the world, going up 33-0 on the Vikings in that first half. They got the picture of Justin Jefferson at halftime, just kind of like looking like, man, well, what are we doing? And Colts were excited, looking to cause some chaos there in the NFC playoff race. But nah, Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, they made sure it happened. Came all the way back, 33 points. KJ Osborne had a big game. Justin Jefferson, like I said, big game. That play by Dalvin Cook to tie it, or to at least to get him a chance to tie it, and then they eventually did tie it to send it to OT. I mean, that's one of the prettiest screens I think I've ever seen in a football game. And I mean, he just sliced and diced the Colts.
Yeah, he was doing it all game, Joseph. Like even on his runs, he wasn't getting a crap ton of touches, but like he was running really well in the second half, of course. And then with that screen pass, once he made the first cut, I was like, "Oh, this could go all the way."
He's gone.
And then he had to break a couple tackles there in the last 10 yards or so, and then he stretched the ball across the plane. But a terrific play from Dalvin.
No, but
man, it was no. Obviously this was the best game I think of the weekend. Like there was a lot of crazy stuff that happened, but I don't think anything really beats the biggest comeback in NFL history. And yeah, I thought it was an incredible game. The ending, you couldn't write a better story than this. But I got to go to the Colts side and Jeff Saturday. If you ever wondered why you should not hire never head coaches to be your interim head coach, because I don't care what you say about the players or how they made mistakes, whatever. If you have a 33-0 lead as a coach, you should never lose. I don't care who you have out there.
Yeah.
I will give you this. I will give the Colts this. Jonathan Taylor went out like early in that game, like first quarter, I think.
First drive.
Yeah, it was first drive. High ankle sprain. He's on IR. He's out for the season. They didn't have a run game. They still went up 33-0 without Jonathan
That's
Taylor.
what I was about to say.
They
went 33-0.
You can't make the excuse.
But they couldn't run down the clock in the second half without him. Like it seemed like every time they got on, they couldn't get a first down. They were giving the ball back quickly. The Vikings offense was just playing efficiently. They were just dicing and slicing. And then all of a sudden, that 33 became 15. That 15 became 8. And then they ended up tying it. And then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, wow, this thing's going to overtime. And who are you going to trust in overtime? The team with Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins, who, let's be honest, didn't look great in the first half, looked pretty damn good in the second half. Or are you going to trust a team with
Insane.
Matt Ryan, who blew the biggest lead in Super Bowl history to Tom Brady a couple years ago?
Matt
Well,
Ryan is a generational talent at blowing leads,
Absolutely.
specifically.
No question.
Yeah, I mean, he's blown the biggest lead in Super Bowl history, and then he's blown the biggest lead in regular season history now. And isn't it ironic, guys, that the previous record was held by the Bills and Frank Reich, who came back, right,
Yeah.
to beat the Oilers, and that was 32 points. And then it happens to Frank Reich's former team, if he hadn't gotten fired. So that is just a crazy, just whatever you want to call that. Just the fact that it happened to a Frank Reich team who was previously coached, and also Coach Saturday, first person named Saturday to coach on a Saturday, but he's 0-1. So sad day for Saturday.
But look, what a game! What a comeback! It was. I don't think I've ever or will ever see something like that again. And it just felt. It felt once the Vikings scored that first time outside of half, or that first touchdown, I should say, you just felt like, okay, there's a chance. And then it just kept happening. It kept happening, and then it happened.
And the thing is, because it was the Colts, even though like they went into halftime, it was what, 33-0, right?
Yeah.
33?
All right.
33-0.
They went into halftime, and I was like, there's still a chance, and that's only because of
It was the Colts.
the fact that it was the Colts.
Well,
I mean, this is a team that let the Cowboys score 33 points in the fourth quarter 2 weeks ago. Then they had their bye, and then they come out and go 33-0, and you're like, okay, hey, a little turnaround here for Indy. And granted, it was most of the defense and special teams doing the work. But then that meltdown in the second half, like,
they get outscored 39-3.
So many things are not clicking for that franchise right now.
Just ridiculous. And Patrick Peterson, apparently, did you guys hear what he said? They went in the locker room and they asked him. They're like, "Hey, man, what do we got to do here? Like, what's happening?" And Patrick Peterson said, "Hey, we just need 5 tutties. 5 tutties. That's it. Guess what? They went down and got it. Tied the game, won it,
along with 2 field goals.
Crazy,
easy. Just 5 tutties, easy."
Kirk Cousins couldn't even comprehend what happened in the post game. The dude that was
Pelissero,
He's like, "Hey, did you know that was just the largest comeback in NFL history?" Kirk was like, "Excuse me? I'm gonna need a minute." But yeah, no, my game of the week right there. Ridiculous. I think that's gonna go down as one of the best game, or maybe not best games, one of the craziest games in NFL history. People will be talking about that for years to come.
Definitely. Also, before we close on this, the Colts have given up 55 points in the last 2 fourth quarters. And that's all you got to say.
That's crazy, man. Crazy. All right. Bryson, game of the week for week 15.
Speaking of things we'll never see again.
Yeah, no. So the reason why this is the game of the week for me, for Raiders and Patriots, it's not necessarily because the game up until the end was great. It was a really good game, back and forth, tied, looks like it's going to overtime. But the reason why this was the game of the week was because of the ending. I don't know about you guys. I've never seen an ending like the Raiders and Patriots game, where especially when you have a coach that's as experienced as Bill Belichick. Now, I'm not blaming it all on Bill Belichick, but look, you could have just taken a knee and gone to overtime. But you decide you're going to run a play. Maybe they weren't supposed to pitch it. All right, I get you. Ramondre Stevenson, you should not have pitched the ball. Like, it's on him too. And then the throw from Jacoby Myers was just absolutely
horrific.
It's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen anybody do.
He was throwing it to Mac Jones, who was in the process of getting stiff-armed when Chandler Jones caught the ball.
That's what I'm saying.
Chandler Jones didn't stiff-arm Mac Jones after he caught the ball. He did it while he was catching the ball. That's how bad of a throw it was.
This is what I'm saying. If you had to pick anybody on the Patriots team, you're like, all right, who has to make the tackle if the other team recovers? Mac Jones is the last person I'm picking.
Let's get into
I think Jacoby Myers had a brain fart because obviously you're 60. Mac Jones was at their own 40. He's not thinking that Mac Jones is going to run it 60 yards for a touchdown, and you can't throw a forward pass once the ball passes the line of scrimmage. I think Jacoby Myers had a brain fart and thought maybe if he got the ball to Mac could heave it for a Hail Mary. Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Or
He
I
cannot
don't.
legitimately think that
or
Mac
he
could
didn't
have ran it.
or he didn't know it was Mac Jones. I mean, he probably just saw a Patriots uniform and just turned and chucked it.
So if that's the case, then he definitely thought they were down. He didn't know what the score was.
Yeah, I mean,
And that is big for coaching and just what's going on in that locker room.
Well, what he said in the post game, he said they asked him about it. They were like, "Hey, man, what was the play call?" And he goes, "Well, it didn't involve a lateral from me. I was trying to be a hero, and sure enough, he became the villain."
Yeah, and Jacoby Myers has played such smart football during his time as a Patriot. And, it's just you talk about this Patriot way and the way Belichick teams are coached and how they go about doing things, playing long-term ball, not going down before you get out of bounds with 6 minutes left on the clock, always playing the long game, always shortening games. And then for them to do something like this, that is just the most mind-boggling thing you can ever witness. It is the craziest play in NFL history. And I'll ask you guys, all these crazy plays have nicknames. Minneapolis Miracle, Miami Miracle, Music City Miracle, all this stuff. If you could pick a name for this play, what would you pick? Now, I have a great candidate. I did not come up with it. A person actually on the Rich Eisen show did, but the Hail Moron.
That's great.
I love it.
That's great. Oh, man. Oh.
It's tough. And I feel like
You
more
should have
nicknames
told.
will come about.
You should have told us that. You should have let us guess before.
Yeah. You should
Very
have
true, I
asked us
just
this
thought of it.
before.
Man.
I'll see if I can get. I'll see if I can think of one by the end of the show. But yeah, I've like I said, I've never seen anything like it. It's a dumb play by Jacoby Myers. Chandler Jones picks it up, 48-yard return. Which I mean, most of it he was running. I mean, the only person in front of him was Mac Jones. Like I said,
Poor Mac. He had
no chance. He had no
Yeah.
chance. Even if he wasn't, like you said, Joseph, even if he hadn't been getting stiff-armed before Chandler Jones even got the ball, let's be honest. What was Mac Jones going to do to Chandler Jones?
Babyface, chubby Mac Jones was not chasing down Chandler Jones and making that tackle. All right. Mac Jones was not doing anything. He was the only one back there. There was no wide receivers. They were all downfield. There was no running backs. They were all downfield. The offensive linemen, they're all downfield. Everyone. There was not a single person. It was just Mac Jones and Chandler Jones, and the Chandler one.
Yes, and it's so brutal for Mac because you can't expect any quarterback to really make that tackle against a premier pass rusher like Jones, other than like maybe Josh Allen, just because he's so big. But also, I don't know if you guys have watched the whole play repeatedly, but Chandler Jones misses a tackle on Ramondre Stevenson right out of the gate. 2 yards past the line of scrimmage, Jones misses an easy tackle on Ramondre. Then Stevenson runs for 20 yards, and the rest is history. But Jones missing that tackle led to all the craziness, and then him getting the fumble recovery and then running it back. So there's so many things that went on that play for that to happen, making it, to me, the craziest play I've ever seen and probably in NFL history based off of how national media has talked about it, guys who have been around the league forever. So, yeah, absolutely insane play in that game.
Yeah, it's something I don't think we'll ever see it again.
Yeah.
Especially now that everybody
Not
has,
after
like,
someone did it once.
Yeah, now that somebody's done
right.
it, they're gonna show that for all eternity at the end of the fourth quarter. Hey, don't be Jacoby Myers.
Don't do this. All right, Jack, your game of the week for week 15.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the Jaguars and the Cowboys. I know it seems like every time the Jags pull off an upset of any magnitude, I call it the game of the week, but it's because most of the times when they do, it is in spectacular fashion, and it was yet again as the Jags came back down 27-10 against the Cowboys in the second quarter to win and prove to 6-8. Cowboys dropped to 10-5. Or 10-4, excuse me. So insane game. Zay Jones, man, over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is a guy who's drafted by the Bills, was supposed to be pretty good, never developed, went to Oakland/Vegas, was okay. And now with the Jags, he's becoming an awesome second wide receiver for that team and a really reliable option for Trevor Lawrence. And just for this Jaguars offense to put up 40 points against that Dallas defense that has been so dominant all year, man, they're really turning the corner, and you can't deny him anymore. You can't hate on him anymore. You can't call him bad. They are one of the best offenses in the NFL right now. Trevor Lawrence did not play a perfect game, but him not playing a perfect game and then them still being able to win against a great team like Dallas is indicative of how much better the team Jacksonville is and how they're in great position to make a playoff push. Obviously, Lawrence with the fumble in regulation, you think the game's over. They get the ball back, but it was Trevor Lawrence who got them back into field goal range. Evan Ingram making a sick play to get out of bounds. I mean, just dragging a Dallas defender out of bounds. The ultimate strength
Save
from
the
number
timeout.
17 there. Yeah, exactly.
The timeout to tie it, actually.
Arguably the biggest play of the game. I mean, outside of the walk-off pick six by Rayshon Jenkins, but yeah, Rayshon Jenkins. Excuse
Yeah,
me. Yeah,
Dallas.
just an incredible play. And Noah Brown, man, got to catch that pass. People putting it on Dak, that pick six. Nah,
Hit
Noah
him in the
Brown's got to
hands.
catch that.
Hit him in the
And,
hands. Listen,
Yep.
listen. The Cowboys are just that team. They're so good. I mean, you look at them. They're good. They're a good team. You cannot say that they're not a good team. They just blow up all the time, and it's self harm all the time. They can't stop hurting themselves to cause them to lose games. Like you said, Noah Brown should have caught that pass. They should have got. They needed one first down.
Yeah.
One first down. They went 3 and out after a huge fumble, huge mistake by Trevor Lawrence. Dallas couldn't do anything on offense, couldn't get a first down. That's it. And then on the third, I think it was like 3rd and 7, they decided to throw a 25-yard route down the sideline instead of trying to get something at the sticks.
That was a terrible. Yes, I remember watching that.
Just awful. I had no. I mean, like I was sitting there and I was like, all right, 3rd of the sticks. Get it 4th and short. Maybe try to go for it to win the game,
Or even run it just to
all right, just
kill
something.
time. Yeah.
And you throw it down the sideline. It was a quick pass too. It's not like Dak went through a bunch of progressions. It was the only progression he looked at. Chucked it down the sideline. It was tight coverage. Bad throw by Dak, incomplete. Stops the clock. They punt it. Jags drive down the field, tie it. Obviously, win in overtime. But yeah, something about Dallas, man. But yeah, your credit to Jacksonville. They've put themselves back in the playoff race. They're one game away from being AFC division leaders. And with the way that the current AFC South division leader is playing, I could see in 1 week they could, in fact, take over, or 2 weeks.
Yeah, no question about that. Based on the way they've been playing. And I mean, I think this was indicative. I mean, you look at how they played against the Titans the week before. I think there was definitely some carryover and some extra confidence coming into this game. And I mean, like I said, Jack, I was on the train. I picked the Jaguars too. So like I saw a little bit of it, and I agree with what Joseph is saying. And it's not just necessarily this Cowboys team, but it feels like every Cowboys team. You know what I mean? Like they're 10-4 right now, but you think they're somehow still going to end up losing that home playoff game. Like whether they're the 3 or the 4 seed. Like right now, they would be the 4 seed too.
Or 5. They'll be a wild card because Philly has the division. But yeah,
a 5, whatever. But
even a game they may supposed to win, like going to Tampa or something, they could drop that easily. Just like they did last year hosting Tampa.
Well, like Philly has it locked up, but they basically completely took out their chance now because I think they still had another chance at it, but now they definitely can't win the division.
Yeah, I think it's an insane long shot. Philly would have to lose out, and that's just not happening. But yeah, the Cowboys just shooting themselves in the foot. But you have to give credit to Jacksonville. I think even more so. Cowboys didn't play terrible. They just they got tight in the second half. They weren't making intelligent play calls. They just thought they were just trying to ice the game away and play vanilla football, and that wasn't going to work against a hot offense with Trevor Lawrence at the helm. And Travis Etienne bouncing back with over 100 yards rushing. Like to see that. Yeah, this is a Jags team that is dangerous right now, and they're playing their best ball in December. When a team is doing that, watch out. So that's all I got to say. And yeah, I'm just saying, I've called it. They were going to win that game in Dallas.
All right, Riley, your game of the week for Week 15.
Yeah, I went with Dolphins, Bills, real back and forth game between two of the best teams in the AFC, and yeah, it was pretty insane game. Like I said, very back and forth. There was one stretch of the game where it was like field goal, touchdown, touchdown, punt, touchdown. Like it was super back and forth between these two teams. Two very good offenses, really just going at it. Two pretty good defenses as well. So. Yeah, just an overall good football game. Great game to watch. No other reason than that. Wasn't any heroics, any insane into the game, but yeah, it was just a good game all around.
Josh has a 2-point conversion.
Hold up. Let's be honest here. The best part of this game was when Bills fans were throwing snowballs at both teams,
That was pretty
not just
funny.
the Dolphins, but both
Yes.
teams. And the refs threatened a 15-yard penalty to the Bills to get them to stop.
That was
And that
pretty funny.
was the
Dude,
greatest thing I think
what
I've
I
seen
was
in a
thinking
football
is
game.
like I don't know if there's any Dolphins fans there, but if I was a
Yeah,
Dolphins fan and I heard that,
I'd be
I would just
chucking
start
them.
chucking snowballs. It's a
Right.
15-yard penalty on the Bills. Come on now. But
There's
I
no way
doubt there
you
was
hit
any
Tyreek with a
Dolphins
snowball.
fans. There was no Dolphins fans in that
Well, it was
12-degree weather, I don't think. But
and it wasn't just the end zones. The Bills fans were also throwing it at the Dolphins sideline, and apparently it was like ice balls. Like it wasn't just all snow, fluffy snow. It was like hard ice mixed in. And McDaniel was like, "Hey, what are we gonna do about this?" So of course they had to cease that and fix it. But yeah, that was wild. Josh Allen's 2-point conversion run, insane to me. And then, of course, the Bills players dusting off the snow to get that clear path for
Yeah.
Tyler Bass to make the game winner. There was a lot of good things in this game.
no, that was cool. Like I said, I always talk about things I've never seen before. Seeing the people like rush out there and then just move all of the snow out of the way for the last little kick, I thought that was really cool.
Well, one of the questions the broadcast team asked, they were like, "Well, what would happen if Dolphins over there just started trying to kick snow onto the spot? Would that be a delay game?" Like, I mean, if they're allowed to move snow, are they allowed to put snow back? I mean, I don't know. It would have been hilarious if I
Essentially.
just saw the Dolphins defense over there just shoveling snow into the spot while the Bills were scraping it away. But the celebration at the end for the Bills, where they were, making snow angels sliding around on the field.
And that's the fun of
Uh,
a snow game,
yeah,
man.
love the snow games. We got robbed of one earlier this year in the 6 feet of
Yes.
snow. But it's okay. I would say this one made up for it. But games of the week, that was our games of the week. Rest of the scores: Niners on Thursday Night Football beat the Seahawks 21-13. Brock Purdy did his thing again. Then the Browns ended up beating the Ravens 13-3 on the other Saturday game. That one was not great. On Sunday, the Eagles took care of the Bears. Bears made it interesting. They are late and early, but Eagles able to prevail. News: Jalen Hurts might be out this weekend against a divisional opponent, so something to watch there. The Saints beat the Falcons 21-18. That game got a little tight at the end. The Lions scraped by the Jets 2017. Steelers beat the Panthers 24-16. The Chiefs went to overtime with the Texans. They ended up winning that one 30-24. Interesting with the Texans. They've played some really good football these past couple weeks. And the way they're doing it is interesting with the 2 quarterback system. You don't really see that in the NFL. The Broncos beat the Cardinals 24-15 in the battle of the backups and then the backups. Then the Chargers beat the Titans on a game winner 17-14. The Bengals came back against the Buccaneers 34-23, and the Giants stifled the Commanders at home 20-12 on a very controversial ending that we will get into. And then on Monday Night Football, it's 24-12 as the Packers take down the Rams and end that Baker Mayfield magic in LA that we saw for 1 week. So those are the rest of the scores. And with that, we get into our week's winners and losers. I'll go ahead and go first since I already talked about it. I'll start with the losers. And it was the Commanders game. I talked about it. Controversial ending in 2 ways. And that is with the refs in the Commanders game. So first off, we'll start off with the touchdown that would have led to an eventual tie if they gotten the 2-point conversion. Terry McLaurin lines up in his normal spot, checks with the ref like every single wide receiver in the league does. Ref tells him to move up. He moves up. The ref tells him, all right, you're good. Puts his hand on the flag. As soon as he said you're good, puts his hand on the flag. Terry McLaurin's obviously looking at the ball so he can, not get a false start. Snap, throws the flag immediately. Illegal formation on Terry McLaurin. Kills the touchdown that Taylor Heineke scored on that play. Pushes him back. Eventually, nothing happens. They don't go into score.
Not just nothing happens.
Not that nothing happened. This is the second part of the controversial ending.
Yeah.
The throw to, I don't even know who. Was it
Curtis
Curtis
Samuel.
Samuel? Was it Curtis Samuel? The throw to Curtis Samuel. Curtis Samuel was getting tackled, hugged. I think, what was it, Kevin Durant that posted the the Merry
Yeah.
Christmas hugged somebody.
Yes,
And
yes.
it was a picture of the Giants DB all wrapped around Curtis Samuel there before the ball got there. And no DPI called. I mean, I get it's a big spot to call pass interference, but that was textbook pass interference and no call. So the refs at the end of Commanders game, my big losers, especially that Terry McLaurin one, because how are you going to tell a player he's good and then flag him immediately?
How you gonna do that and then not call the DPI?
And then not call the DPI.
Because
And
on
he tails off
the
touchdown.
McLaurin play was the B Rob Tud. Like
Yeah.
it was gonna bring him within 2 to
Who's the
potentially
DB?
send it
Was
to
it
overtime.
Darnay Holmes?
I can't remember. That sounds right though. But anyway,
They scored a touchdown. That's it.
Guys.
And it was a touchdown. And it was
And
a
also,
tackle
McLaurin
ball.
had nothing to do with the touchdown,
touchdown,
anyway.
yeah.
Like he was just standing over there
He
anyway.
was in legal formation because they called him. They said he wasn't on the ball. So
Yeah,
as
for
wide
sure.
receiver, he had to be on the ball, and they said he wasn't on the ball. And
It's just like, regardless if he was on the ball, though, like it's not going to change whether or not he would have scored a touchdown at the end of the day, too.
exactly.
So
It
it's
was
like, come
so
on
dumb.
now.
But listen, okay, here's my question. So obviously we know that wide receivers get help from the refs in terms of lining up because their perspective of where the ball is on the field. It's a little iffy when you're a wide receiver, especially when you got it lined up off ball, on ball. It gets a little tricky. If a ref gives you false information, does that warrant some punishment for the ref?
Yes.
Or
Here's what I'll say,
yes.
Here's what I'll say.
or does it matter because the ref isn't obligated to give the wide receiver help? He can say whatever he wants to the wide receiver. It's the wide receiver's job to know where he's supposed to be on the field. Which is it?
Okay, but there's an issue though, because a lot of people are saying he just told him that he was good and then that's what happened. I don't think that's what the ref said. I think you can clearly see him go like point up, like, oh, you need to move up. Terry McLaurin takes like a half step forward and then he turns around back towards the ball and throws up like a little thumbs up to the ref, and that's when the ref started reaching for the flag.
Well, the ref also, Terry, if you watch the post game of Terry McLaurin, he said he turned his head and the ref said, "Yeah, you're good now." When he put
I'm gonna
that
believe
second
Terry.
thumbs up. I believe Terry McLaurin when he says that.
It's
I'm not
total
saying,
bullcrap. Yeah, the ref
Um,
should get punished. If that's true, like that is the epitome of brutality to do that to someone.
Yeah,
That is
if
just
that- yeah.
so bad on so many levels. And it changed the game because it was a touchdown. And the dude was you said it, Joseph. His hand was on the flag before the ball was ever snapped.
He knew
It's not like
he knew he was
McLaurin
gonna throw
moved
it.
back a little bit before the ball was snapped after they had already talked about his placement on the line of scrimmage. No, he cleared it and then put his hand. The fix is in. It was in. It was so in. They totally changed this game. If you even go back multiple drives ago, Logan Thomas was called for illegal motion running to the line of scrimmage before the ball was snapped, as in not laterally. He was running in a upward. But first off, NFL players do that all the time. If you watch Tyreek, he does it like twice a drive, right? Getting that extra step. No one ever calls it. But then they call it on Logan Thomas. It's just these minute calls on the Washington Commanders were totally uncalled for. And then just so happens on the Giants side, on the last drive of the game, when you need to chew clock, Saquon Barkley can all of a sudden just run through these huge holes in the Washington defense. You can't tell me there wasn't holding on that drive. I've yet to go back and watch, but I guarantee you there was at least a couple of holds because Washington was stopping Saquon all night long. And then just so happens on the most important drive of the game for the New York offense, Saquon is able to gash them like crazy. I don't buy it. I don't buy any bit of it. And then at the end, to call it on Terry McLaurin is a fireable offense in my opinion. And then the DPI, like, who are we kidding? That is textbook DPI in a league that calls DPI all the time. And don't give me the bull crap about, oh, let him play because it's the last play of the game. If you're going to do that, don't call it on Terry McLaurin. Stupidity all around, and I'm so sick of it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I'm totally with you, especially on that DPI point. I have seen DPIs called for way less in the end zone at the end of a game. And it's like the picture where he literally is giving the dude a hug, like that's the one where you're like, okay, there's no question. That's the definition of pass interference. I'm not going to say it's the worst one I've ever seen. I'll still go back to that Saints-Rams game as the
Yeah.
worst
Chauncey
missed call I've
Gardner.
ever seen, but it was pretty bad. I'll give you that, Jack.
Whatever happened to the you can review if it was pass interference or not?
Oh,
Yeah, no, they did
just
that
took
for
it
a year,
away.
and they were like, "Nope, screw it, didn't like it."
Why? That was so. I mean, obviously it
It
slowed the
slows
game
the
down a
pace.
little bit,
Yeah,
but
it
it was
slows the
so much
pace.
better because they actually fixed some calls. I mean,
Dude, they
it's
should
like,
just make it so you can challenge it like it was. Like
yeah,
you should only have 2 challenges.
yeah.
Yeah, Washington
I
is
don't
so
know.
You want to
crazy.
use it on a DPI? Yeah, sure, go ahead. But no,
Yeah.
listen, I totally agree with you. Listen. Yes, it's the wide receiver's job to know where he's supposed to be lined up, but everybody knows that the wide receivers ask the line judges judgment on if they're lined up or not.
At every level of football.
Every level of football, from Pop Warner to high school to college to the NFL, it happens. They ask. You see it all the time. They're sticking that thumb out saying, "Hey, am I good? Am I good?" And you see the line judge do it back. How are you going to do that? Say he's good and then immediately throw the flag, knowing you were going to throw that flag. The NFL better investigate that because something's. I agree with you, Jack. The fix is in. Something is going on there, but that's my loser for the week. It's the refs in the Commanders game because they botched that and they showed their hand, in my opinion. Now, my winner of the week, I'll get to this one quickly. Pretty simple. It happened all week long. It's the comebacks, baby. We saw it with the Vikings. We saw it with the Bengals late. We saw it with the Jaguars. So many teams. I'm pretty sure the Raiders come back a little bit. Were they down?
No, New England came back.
Or New England
They were
came
down
back. That's what it was.
17-3.
Yeah. New England came back to tie it. They
Yeah.
didn't end up completing it.
They were up 24-17. Then the Keelan Cole touchdown, which, by the way,
But
don't
yeah,
know if it was a touchdown, but okay.
but
And then that happened.
oh yeah. But yeah, no, the comebacks. They were plentiful in this game. Heck, even the Titans had a little bit of a comeback. And if you want to call 7 points a comeback, because they can't score more than a touchdown in any of their games. But listen, the comebacks were alive and well, baby, and that's why this week started the playoffs off early, and that's my winner of the week. Bryson, you want to go? You can go next.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and go. And I'll start with mine, and it's going to be the Detroit Lions. And it's not just because of the fact that they won this week. It's really just a culmination of what they've been doing really on this last stretch of games. Because I know that you guys remember that at one point the Lions were 1-6. It looks like they were worried about where their draft pick was going to be, right? And now all of a sudden you look up and they have a chance to make the playoffs, like a very reasonable chance to make the playoffs, right? And this game was going to be a big part of that because you got to win out at this point, basically. Now, you could get some help from other people, but if they win out, I think they're going to make the playoffs, right? And when you look at their last 3 games, Panthers, Bears, Packers, those are all winnable games. Now, it's going to be tough for them to beat Aaron Rodgers because we know Aaron Rodgers beats up on the Lions just like he's beat up on the Bears. Like, let's be honest. But when you look at the way they've been playing, they've already won their last 3 games in a row. And 6 out of the last 7 now? Yeah. So, dude, the Lions, I think I'm ready to say, Riley, I don't know if they're going to get 10 wins, but you were on to something. Because this team, I love the Lions. I love the fact that the Lions are good again because it feels like they're one of those teams. They deserve to have a good season. Finally, it feels like they had a couple chances, maybe like when they had Calvin Johnson, but even back then, they never felt like they were as good as they should have been. So that's why I think they're going to be my winner for this week. Won a close game against the Jets, everything like that. My loser of the week is going to go to the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Not necessarily Dak Prescott's fault on that last pick 6. Like you said, it should have been a catch. But he still does get part of the blame because it seems like, now whether it's his fault or it's not his fault, when it comes down to the end of games, Dak Prescott is always throwing an interception. He threw another interception in the third quarter of this game too. So it's one of those things where down the stretch of games, Dak Prescott has been known to turn the ball over. Now, I still think he's a great quarterback, and I still think he's been very good for them for most of the year. But when you look in the games they've lost, a lot of it is because in the critical times of the game, he makes mistakes. Now, I wouldn't necessarily call that a mistake this week, but it's one of those things where maybe you don't throw the ball to Noah Brown. I don't know. Maybe you throw to one of your other wide
I
receivers.
mean, he was getting
Like he was
pressured.
open. There's a lot of other stuff. Like I don't want to put anything on Dak for that throw because, like I said, he should have caught the ball. That's the number one thing, right?
Let's
It's not on him, but still, I still got the Cowboys and Dak Prescott as a whole as my loser this week. It just feels like it felt like they were slipping up, and with how close all the teams are right now, a couple slip ups could be bad for them.
Let's look at this from another angle, Bryson. When's the last time you saw Dak Prescott make a play that you said, "Wow," in a close game? When's the last time?
Dude,
Can you
that's actually.
can you think of one
I'm
this
trying
season?
to think. I'm trying to think. I mean,
It's
you
been
can look.
it's been
I
Tony
mean,
Pollard, right? It's been Zeke.
yeah, that's
It's been
true.
Lamb with the yak. Like, I don't know, man. I agree. I feel like Dak Prescott is not a guy who you want on your team over the field when it's coming down to close games featuring a lot of offense. And those are the types of games you're going to have to win if you want to make a Super Bowl run. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Well, with Jack, with that, well, I guess we'll transition to you. Your winners and losers for Week 15.
Yeah, I'm not going to sound like a broken record here and keep talking about Jags offense. I told you they're playing really balanced football, good running game. The receivers are coming into their own. Defense can make plays when it counts. O-line's playing all right. Trevor's a completely different quarterback. They got a great coach in Dougie P. But the reason the Jaguars are my winner is because of just the playoff scenario. They're 6-8 now, and up next they get the Jets on the road. I said last week I thought the Jaguars would beat the Cowboys, then lose to New York. I didn't foresee Zach Wilson starting this week. I knew he was going to start last week. The fact that Zach Wilson is starting that game, it really caps the Jets' offensive upside. And the Jaguars' run D has been pretty good. So I don't know if the Jets will be able to run all over them. I'm actually going to end up taking the Jags to win on TNF in New York, given the way they're playing. And you thought that maybe if they were reading their press clippings and they were overconfident after the Titans win, they'd fall against the Cowboys. Certainly looked that way in the first half, but they didn't do that. So with that happening, with that comeback happening, I think the Jags are going to keep riding high. So with that win, then against Houston, they should win. And then it'll come down to that last week. So now the Jaguars control their own destiny. They win out, they're in. And that is ultimately why they are my winner of the week, that the 6-8 Jaguars control their own destiny. And their AFC South foe, we don't know if their starting quarterback is going to even play again this season. So there's a lot of reasons the Jags are my winner. My loser of the week, I'm going to talk about a team we didn't really touch on that I think is worth touching on, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. I really liked them in this Cleveland matchup. I know it was on the road, but you knew the weather was going to be bad. The Browns' offense has been terrible since Deshaun Watson took over. Their defenses, you can be ran on, and J.K. Dobbins did run on them. But the Baltimore Ravens just can't score touchdowns right now. They have an aversion to scoring points, and it's a problem. I know Lamar Jackson is out, but you kind of saw them slipping even with when Lamar was in those last couple of weeks. Tyler Huntley is not the guy we thought he was going to be. He's not the guy I've seen in recent relief outings when Lamar has gotten banged up. Huntley is not playing very good football. You don't want to trot out Anthony Brown against quality NFL competition. So I don't know how many games the Ravens can win right now. They've already lost the division lead to the Bengals. I do not see them gaining it back. They're going to be 5 seed at best. They don't hold the head-to-head over Miami, so they could fall to the 6 seed. It's not a good situation to be in right now if you're the Baltimore Ravens, especially after that loss to Cleveland. Just ugly loss.
Yeah, they're misfiring on all fronts. Justin Tucker had the worst game of his career. Missed a field goal, got one blocked.
Yeah.
Just bad game all around. With no Lamar, that offense really takes a hit. I get Tyler Huntley. I get he fits in like a glove. I mean, he's basically Lamar 2.0, just minus a lot of talent. But it doesn't
He's not
matter.
making any throws, man. Yeah. They can't move the ball.
It doesn't really plug and play very well over there in Baltimore. So it's a good loser. Riley, your winner and loser of the week.
Yeah, for winner, gotta go with Jerick McKinnon with the way he capped off that game for the Chiefs. I mean, he had a decent game all around, 10 carries, 52 yards, and had that breakaway touchdown at the end to kind of seal the deal for the Chiefs. So yeah, just he was quite literally the reason the Chiefs won that game. So Gave him my winner, gave him the nod. Good performance from him. Also had plenty of 8 receptions for 70 yards and a touchdown. Great game for him,
Jerry McKinnon fantasy owners
right?
secondary winner for
Yeah,
that one.
right,
Donks
right.
rising.
And then for a loser, gotta go with I mean it's kind of been beaten to the ground now, but the Colts and Matt Ryan, especially Matt Ryan, dude. Now his name is the one attached to two of the worst blown leads in NFL history, man. That's tough. That's a
It's
tough legacy to leave behind.
not really what you want your name attached to when you're a guy who has put up and played like a Hall of Famer at times in your career.
Now he's
Right.
benched.
Yeah.
Is he benched?
Yeah, they benched him for Nick Foles. Foles will start Monday.
Wow.
Oh, that's right. I did see
Wow.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Foles.
right.
Wow,
I saw about
Foles. After all this time, they're gonna go with Foles. I mean, they went with
Hey, listen.
Ellinger before they went with Foles, and now they're going with Foles with the season over.
I
They're
think.
not mathematically eliminated from winning the division.
Yes, they
I
are.
mean, they're not mathematically
not.
eliminated, but this is what I'll say though. If Nick Foles is starting for the Colts, I think we got to think that his career is about to be over because the Colts are where quarterbacks go to die. Let's be honest. What quarterback actually went to the Colts and revived their career?
Brissett.
Eh,
I don't
I
know if I'd
guess.
say revive, but it was like
he was a backup that had to go in because Andrew Luck could never stay healthy.
yeah, but that's where he got his name. That's the reason he
Well,
started
I'm
for
just looking at.
Cleveland
I mean,
for as long, and
when you
should
look
be
at
the
it, they
starter
had
for Cleveland
Phillip
right now.
Rivers, they had Carson Wentz. Neither one of those guys actually did anything. Matt Ryan was supposed to come back and put up better numbers this year.
Yeah.
And didn't do it. So, Nick Foles, I'm sorry, but it's not looking good for you.
Yeah,
Will Levis, you're next.
we'll see the Nick Foles retirement photo here next year.
Foles and Ryan will retire on the same day.
Oh yeah, and they'll do it in press conference fashion, just one after the other. And it's like, oh, you want to go first? You want me to go first? But
plan.
yeah, that's where quarterbacks go to die. And Matt Ryan, bad legacy to leave behind. And with that, let's get our dogs of the week. The best players in week 15 in our eyes. I'll go first. My dog, throwing it all the way back to my comeback win that I talked about, my game of the week, and that is KJ Osborne. Not the wide receiver you thought would be leading the Minnesota passing attack, but he was 10 receptions, career high, 157 yards, career high, and a touchdown. His long was at 63-yard score, I believe, there to get that comeback flowing there in the second half. But better game than Justin Jefferson, outproduced Jay Jettas, who I've been behind as the best wide receiver in the NFL. Career numbers on everything. I'm pretty sure they said in the broadcast that KJ Osborne had never even had 9 passes or 9 receptions in a game dating all the way back to high school. Didn't even have one in high school. And now he's got 10 for 157 in this comeback win against the Colts. He's a part of history. He's
awesome.
my winner. He's my winner of the week.
That is crazy. That's quite wild. So I almost picked a Vikings player, but I know that somebody else is picking a Vikings player too. And I was like, we can't do 3 Vikings players. So I had to get back. I already talked about the Lions for my winner of the week. I got to go with Brock Wright, holding it down for the big dudes. 4th and inches. He had no receptions the entire game. Throw the freaking tight end in the flat. Hit him in the flat. Not only get the first down, but then take it the other 50 yards and score the what would be the game-winning touchdown. Dog of the week. He only had 1 reception, but it was the only reception that mattered. Touchdown, win, Lions firmly in the playoff race.
Didn't Penny Sewell have a big catch in this game? Was it this game?
Yes, he did.
The 4th down, Dan
Yes,
Campbell,
where he dove.
yeah,
Did he dive?
yeah, he like dove for the first down. But
Y'all saw the quote about what he
Dan Campbell.
said?
Dan Campbell said, he was like, "Oh, dude, no, I was looking at the crowd with the wave, and I looked down, and they were throwing it to Penny, and I was like, what are we doing?" Then it worked, and he goes, "All right, I guess we're doing that." He was looking at the wave. He wouldn't even look at the play.
He's like
distracted.
throwing the ball. Hey, but I will say,
Kneecaps on his mind.
as a former high school offensive lineman, those were the best plays. When we got to install those plays, I was like, dude, just give me one chance, coach.
Give me one chance.
So
let me go.
I know I know that Penei Sewell was very happy that he got that chance. And not only did he get the chance, but he delivered. That's the
Yeah.
most important part.
Yeah, of all the craziness we've talked about this week with the Patriots Raiders play taking the cake, how about a 50-plus yard go-ahead touchdown on fourth down from from Brock Wright in a tight end flat to take it to the house? Like,
Yeah.
that should blow your mind. That would have been the craziest play if like 5 other things didn't happen, right? But
Dude, why didn't we
that
put that
gets
as our
lost
lock
in
of the
everything.
week?
That gets
Why didn't we
lost
put
in
that as the
everything,
lock of the week?
and
Lock
it
of the
still
week.
should be highlight.
Brock Wright, 50 yards and a touchdown. Lock it in.
All right, Riley, your dog of the week.
Yeah, I've got to go with Josh Allen. Kind of skirted himself back into the MVP race. He'd been kind of on the back burner, but to Patrick Mahomes, but firmly he's like right neck and neck after this game. Incredible performance in the snow, in the cold. Josh Allen, 25 of 40, passing 304 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. I don't even think he had a. I don't think he had a. No, he did have one fumble, but then he also. You're thinking, yeah, 304 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns through the air. That's a great game, right? That's all you need. Well, no, he also led his team in rushing, 10 carries, 77 yards. Josh Allen, dog.
With
I
a
wouldn't wanna-
44-yard run coming on the 8-point drive to tie it.
I wouldn't want to tackle Josh Allen in the snow.
No.
Not with how he launches himself into the air like a rocket. I mean, that man jumps at every chance he possibly can to get over somebody.
Dude, he
It's
runs
ridiculous.
hard.
Oh yeah,
Dude, is he the most physical quarterback runner we've ever seen?
I don't know. Steve McNair, he was pretty physical when he ran.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's definitely true.
But
I'm
no,
just saying,
but-
he's by the
but
time
no.
his career is over, he's gonna have people are gonna be asking that.
I mean, right now, it's so funny because I don't know. I saw a video about this. It was like, oh, everyone always gives Tua hate because he takes these hits and and he's had these head problems. But then when you see Josh Allen launching head first over 5 defenders and doing front flips over an
Yeah.
entire pile, they're like, oh, Josh Allen's a warrior. He's a dog. He's hard nosed. I'm like, why doesn't any other quarterback get that? Well,
I
it's 'cause
saw a
Josh Allen's
same
like
type of
six.
tweet with like
Josh
Justin
Allen's
Fields.
6'6", 240 pounds, and can run through a brick wall. That's why. But no, Josh Allen, he might want to start taking care of his body a little more. But for right now, it's working.
Yeah, and it makes football that much more exciting when he's on the field.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put your body in harm's way. Keep doing it. I like seeing it. But my dog of the week is also going to be from the Minnesota Vikings game because if you score 39 points and a half, there's multiple dogs of the week to go around, right? You got KJ Osborne. You could pick Justin Jefferson, who had 12 catches and over 100 yards and a touchdown of his own. But I'm going to go with the running back who did it in both facets of offense, and is Dalvin Cook, 95 yards on the ground and 95 yards through the air with that huge touchdown catch on the screen and run to send it to overtime. So Dalvin Cook carving up the Colts defense on the ground and through the air as well. This was his best game of the season, and going back to probably his 4 touchdown game last year, this is the best I've seen Dalvin Cook look. So I was very impressed out of number 4. And to me, I get the numbers point to Osborne and Jefferson, but with the balance Dalvin Cook provided the Vikings offense in the second half, and for Kevin O'Connell to be willing to still run the ball, I think that was very crucial in their ability to make this comeback. So Dalvin Cook is my dog of the week.
Great dog. And just real quick, you mentioned him. I want to give a quick shout out to Justin Jefferson. Not because of what he did in this game, but because what he's doing this season as the best wide receiver in the NFL. Looking at you, Riley. This man is 341 yards away from breaking the NFL single season record. That's 114 yards a game to break the record. Now you're thinking, that's Justin Jefferson. He's gotten 120 yards the last 3 games. Well, listen, he's only 125 yards a game away from being the first and only wide receiver to hit 2,000 yards in a season. And you know what the crazy part is? Much like when we thought about this with Derrick Henry, it's doable. It's so doable. It's like, 125 yards a game? Yeah, he's got it. I don't see Justin Jefferson not getting it. And if you look at the teams that the Vikings are playing, let's start off with this week. I'm pretty sure they're playing one of the worst passing defenses in the NFL.
The Giants. Yeah.
They're playing the Giants this week, who have no defensive backs whatsoever because their entire team is injured, much like a lot of the league. Then
They
you
got
go
Darnay
to the
Holmes.
week after that, they're playing the Packers, who
Lockdown.
have some pretty good DBs, but Justin Jefferson division game, I think he could ball out. But then they
Jair
go,
versus Justin Jefferson. That's gonna be a great
but
matchup
Hey,
to
then
Jay
watch.
then
Jettis
they
had
go,
over 180 yards in the Packers week
but
1. So.
but listen, then they go to week 18 and they play the Bears, who just have an abysmal defense. Tell me that it's not likely that Justin Jefferson is going to hit this 2,000-yard mark. And I can't wait for it to happen because guess what? As soon as it happens, I'm texting Riley, told you so, because Tyreek was on pace for it, didn't hit it. Justin Jefferson wasn't on pace for it, hit it.
Hey, and
Bam.
this
Mic
is
drop.
another thing I'll say is everybody knows this too. Like let's not pretend like Justin Jefferson doesn't know how close he is to 2,000 yards. I feel like he's the type of dude, he definitely knows how close he is. And I feel like the coaching staff knows. And if they're within 200 going into that last week, I'm not even saying
You
he
know
has to
who's
get
you know
like
who's getting the ball.
yeah, if they are under 200 yards to 2,000 going into the last week of the season against the Bears, he's going to hit it. No question.
I mean, I listen. There's no way in my mind he's breaking the record. Okay, the record he's
You're
breaking.
that confident, huh?
Oh yeah, I'll put a lock on it right now. He's breaking the record.
Man, that's a lot of yards, Joseph. In
yeah.
341 in 3 games
If
for
he
a guy
goes
that
7 for 60, like it's over. He just needs one game like that where they blow out somebody and he doesn't get the ball.
I'm telling you
Maybe this week.
the teams that he's playing, it's lined up for him to get it. It's lined up. The Packers is going to be the challenge with Jair Alexander, but like you said, he put up 180 against them earlier this season, and you know what?
It's 100% possible. I
I
wouldn't
think the
be
Bears
comfortable
game's
putting
gonna be
money
the
on it
biggest
happening.
challenge.
The Bears?
And you know what? Yes, and it's
Because
because
it's just because the last week.
yeah, it's the last week. There's a great chance that they'll have playoffs locked. I think they already pretty much have playoffs locked down, right?
They'll
Yeah,
let him.
but
They'll let
the
him
2
play.
seed is
They'll
what
let him
they'll
play.
be playing for because the
They'll let 'em
Niners are
play.
nipping at their heels.
Regardless, though, think of, like they're gonna be blowing them out by halftime probably.
Yeah, because Justin
How
Jefferson's
much
going to have
volume is
150 yards in the
Justin
first half.
Jefferson gonna how
That's
much
what.
volume
Yeah,
is
that's
Justin
what I'm
Jefferson
saying.
gonna get?
He
I
could
mean,
easily get 7 catches for 60 yards.
That's what I'm, yeah.
but I'm telling you, he's
I'm
gonna
rooting
get
for
it.
it to happen. I
He's
want
gonna
him to
get.
get it.
He's gonna get it. I have that same feeling I had when Derrick Henry was close to 2,000. He's gonna get it. I just
don't
know.
have that. I don't have
I
that
just
feeling at all.
it's in my gut. I just know it. And listen, I've been so good on locks this season. This is
You were
this is the-
terrible at the beginning, and then you kind of came back.
I've come back lately. I've been hot on locks. I'm sticking with this one, Justin Jefferson. Maybe not 2K. I'm not sticking on 2K. 2K is a lot, but the NFL single season record, he's getting it. I feel it. That's I'm gonna say my piece there, and we'll move on from week 15 as that was we recapped coming out today, or at time or day of recording, was the Pro Bowl. Now, no one cares about the Pro Bowl, but I feel like we need to talk about the snubs of the Pro Bowl because everyone that got the Pro Bowl pretty much deserved it. I look at the rosters; there wasn't a name that stood out where I'm like, how did he get in? Obviously, the quarterbacks, Geno Smith got in. Jalen Hurts
That's a big
for
one.
the NFC, Kirk Cousins. Those guys deserve it. Obviously, you know the big three in the AFC: Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and who was the third one? I just blanked. Oh, Joe Burrow. Yeah, that's it. Joe Burrow.
Mahomes, Allen, Burrow.
Yeah, I mean,
Can we? And also, the crazy thing is, Tua, I think, actually had the most fan votes and didn't
yeah,
get picked.
So this is where I'm going to get to. Biggest, just real quick before we get into our locks. Biggest Pro Bowl snubs of this year. I already told you guys mine, and that is Christian McCaffrey, who has 1,500 all-purpose yards, more than every other running back in the NFC. Didn't get it. Didn't get in, and I don't know how, because Christian McCaffrey is one of the best talents, best explosive playmakers. Puts up the stats to prove it. Didn't get into the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, this is a big snub not putting CMC in. He was good with the Panthers. He was fine. You know, I don't know if he was quite Pro Bowl level, but he was close for sure. And then he comes to San Fran and he completely, you know, just changes their offense to become even better. and he has been balling out for San Fran. He is one of the most significant reasons that Brock Purdy looks good, in my opinion. He's bringing a ton of balance to that Shanahan offense. So I think, yeah, it's a big snub.
You guys have any other snubs? I know, Bryson, you mentioned Tua.
I would say Tua, but mostly just because, I mean, he had the most voting in the fan voting, too. Like, I think that's the thing that kind of throws you off. I know it's not just fan voting. Other stuff goes into it, like players, coaches, all that kind of stuff. But you would think that a guy who's, I mean, he was in the MVP conversation for a lot of the year. I know he kind of had a couple bad games, but I thought he would make the Pro Bowl based on how many votes he had and the numbers he's put up. So it makes me think that most people think that that's more Tyreek and Jalen Waddle than it really is Tua.
Yeah. Speaking of Jalen Waddle, another snub.
Yes.
A wide receiver they got in over him is Jamar Chase, who missed 4 games due to injury, which is, I think, very
Jamar
interesting.
Chase is Jamar Chase, though.
I mean, he is
Yeah,
Jamar
but who
Chase,
cares?
but
Waddle had the better year, right?
Waddle's
yeah.
had the better year so far. I don't know. It's just interesting.
Someone who got in that shouldn't have got in, Quentin Nelson.
Ooh, that's a
yeah,
good
that's
one.
just based off name. It feels like.
Yeah.
I feel
like-
and that's kind of how it
hold on,
goes
no,
with
no.
guards.
You know what that was? That was, hey, we need the Colts to get a player in because every team's got to be represented. Who are we gonna send?
Is that actually a thing? Every team has to be.
Yep, I'm
Really?
pretty sure.
That's bullcrap.
I'm pretty sure every team has to be.
So what Texan
represented.
made the freaking
Oh.
Pro Bowl?
I got another one.
Damian-
Laramie
he did.
Laramie Tunsil.
Oh, okay. Of course. Name.
I got
I
a
mean,
snub,
the
though.
offensive lineman, defensive lineman, those are the easiest positions to just kind of like
throw someone a bone.
Well, Laramie Tunsil's
and special teams.
Laramie Tunsil deserved it, I think.
All right, who's your other one, Riley?
Oh yeah, Ryan Stonehouse.
Oh yeah, yeah, the best. Oh, first off, he averages the most yards per punt in the league for all punters as a rookie. 2, he doesn't just kick it out of the back of the end zone every time. He actually places balls inside the 10, inside the 5, inside the 20 all the time. Big snub. I definitely agree
Very
with
well.
that. But it doesn't matter because the Pro Bowl is useless and they're not even playing a football game this year. They never even really played a football game in previous years. They just kind of ran the ball around and gave somebody a car at the end of the game for whoever had the best stats or whatever.
Hey, would you rather see a flag football game or them all play Celebrity Family Feud?
Celebrity Family.
Celebrity
Yeah, are
Family.
you
Yeah.
kidding me?
No
That'd be so
question.
funny.
Absolutely.
Give me
That'd
that.
be so funny.
But listen,
With Peyton, Eli, and Steve Harvey all mixing in as hosts.
oh,
Yes!
AFC
Oh
versus
my
NFC.
gosh.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Well, listen, mic'd up Peyton and Eli coaching on the sidelines for the flag football game. That's going to be comedy gold. I already know it. That's going to be comedy gold. But
Yeah,
no, the Pro Bowl is useless. The only good thing about the Pro Bowl is the events and the skills challenges.
Remember when Mitch Trubisky made it that one year and he couldn't hit a freaking target? And they were like, "What is happening? How did he get in?"
Was he the MVP, the Nickelodeon?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, you know what I miss? I miss the Pro Bowl where the quarterback challenges, where the longest throw competition, like those quarterback, like the speed ones where they had the paint on the footballs and they were throwing at the targets, running back and forth. Those are the quarterback challenges I miss. They need to bring those back. Those are fun to watch. I always watch. They always show up on my timeline on Twitter, and I see Peyton Manning throwing. I see Steve McNair throwing. I see all these old quarterbacks throwing. I'm like, bring that back.
They should
No one wants to
invent
watch
a
this
new.
crap.
They should invent a new Pro Bowl challenge, given the past events in the Raiders Patriots game. They put every quarterback up against Chandler Jones. You give Chandler Jones a couple of steps head start and see which ones can actually make a tackle. So
No, they couldn't do that. Too much physical contact. It's Pro Bowl.
Dude, I don't know what you're talking about. We should put Jacoby Myers in the quarterback competition.
He played quarterback in high school.
I know.
He might ball out.
Let's go for it.
Evidently, he's not a good decision maker, though.
Yeah. All right. That's the Pro Bowl. It's useless. No one cares about it. Let's get into week 16. We'll start off Thursday night. Well, first, let's get to our picks and how we looked up. This week, it was myself and Bryson tied for the best weeks at 11-5. Jack and Riley went 10-6. So pretty good week from everybody there. Bryson's still in the lead, 123-77 and 2. Riley behind him at 121, 79, and 2. I'm right there at 120, 80, and 2. And Jackson last at 119, 81, and
We're all
2.
so
This is
close, though.
rigged.
That's so
Recount.
crazy.
Recount. Stop the count. Recount.
I don't think this is the Commanders game, Jack. But yeah, that's how the records look out for the years. Everyone actually really, really far over 500, which is pretty impressive. So
Smart guys.
let's keep that going here in Week 16, Thursday Night Football. It's the Jags and the Jets getting things started. The Jets are favored by 2 in this game. I'll get things started because the Jets are not winning with Zach Wilson at quarterback. Give me the Jaguars.
Love the storyline of number 1 overall pick versus number 2 overall pick. Last year it didn't go Trev's way. This year it does. Give me the Jags.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting worried because I feel like we might all pick the Jags. I don't know if that's happened in a while.
No, this is a game the Jags lose, but I just can't pick Zachy Dubs.
Can't
I
pick
can't
it.
do it.
I can't
pick him.
pick Zach Wilson either. Especially, I feel like the Jets haven't been great the last couple weeks. So give me the Jaguars.
Hey, y'all know me. I'm the #1 Zach Wilson hater. So of course I'm going with the Jaguars. Come on, that's a sweep for the Jags.
All right, moving on. Our next game, it's the Bills and the Bears getting things started off on Saturday this week because Christmas is on Sunday. So almost all the teams are playing on Saturday. And this one's an easy pick. Give me the Bills.
Yeah, I'm not gonna overthink this. Let's take the Bills in this one.
Chicago will lose on Christmas Eve, and the Bills. Christmas is going to come a little day early there for Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going with Buffalo. That's an easy pick. That's another sweep.
All right, moving on. We got the Saints and the Browns in Cleveland. This one's an interesting game because both of these offenses are haven't really been great. Middle of the road quarterbacks right now. I honestly don't know who to pick in this game. I think I'm just going to go with the Browns because the Saints are 1-5 on the road, and that does not favor them. So just give me Cleveland, and I'm what's going to say a cold, supposed to be rainy day in Ohio.
Oh yeah, it's going to be cold in a lot of these games because of this crazy weather that we're about to have just across the country. But I think I'm going to go with the Browns. But I do think this game is what you get if you're on Santa's naughty list. This is the kind of game you get for that. So,
What'd you take, Joseph?
I took the Browns.
Man, guts telling me Noah. It's
You
going to
gonna
be
go with it?
freezing.
Exactly. New Orleans plays in a dome.
No. That I know. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go Cleveland. I should have went them last week. So, give me the Browns, even though they suck.
Yeah, gotta go with the Browns here.
Man.
Saints just lost their starting guard, I think.
It's a tough one.
Yeah. The offensive line. Do we see what that can do to a team with the Titans? I've got to go with Cleveland for this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweep.
Sweep. Moving on, we got the Texans and the Titans in Nashville. This one's going to be one of the coldest games in Nissan Stadium history. But that just benefits Tennessee, in my opinion, because they have one thing that the Texans don't have, especially now that Dameon Pierce is on IR, and that is Derrick Henry. He has rushed for 200 yards in 4 straight games over the Texans now. 4 or 5 now. I did it last time they played earlier this year. He's going to make it 6 or 5 or 6, whatever it is. Give me Derrick Henry and the Titans.
yes, this week, even though I don't feel good about the Titans overall, let's just be honest, they're still playing the Texans. They still are a better team than the Texans. And the big difference, like we said, the Titans have Derrick Henry. He always plays great against the Texans. So give me the Titans, but this is going to be like a 14-3 or like a 10-3 game, something stupid like that.
I said like 13-9.
Yeah, like something. This is not something that you're going to want to remember on Christmas
Are
morning.
y'all going to watch this game?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Jeez. Yeah. Oh. I hope Hansen doesn't turn it on too much at red zone. Yeah, but just because of Derrick Henry, I'm taking the Titans. Don't need to get too cute. Just because Texans are playing well doesn't mean they're going to be able to beat Tennessee and Nashville in the frigid cold. Give me Tennessee.
And also, let's not forget that the Texans are playing for the #1 pick too. So
can't.
They do have a 2-game lead on it though, so they can afford to win.
They can afford to win.
Riley.
Yeah, Malik beat the Texans once. He'll do it again. Derrick Henry's there. Might be the first time we see Traylon Burks and Malik Willis on the field together at the same time. So maybe there's a connection there. Maybe there's some insane chemistry between those two. Let's hope we see that. Because that's about the only thing you're going to get good out of this game. Yeah, we're sweeping 4 in a row for Tennessee.
Yeah, they can't lose 5 in straight, can they? That just can't happen.
No.
And
no,
also,
no.
show of hands, who's here for the Josh Dobbs potential action? Well, we for that? We for that?
All
I'm
for it, no question.
He
All
Former
balled
ball,
out in the
that-
preseason. He had
I
better
want
stats than
Malik to
in the
do well.
preseason.
I want Malik to do well, but
Let's hope he does so well that
I
they
like
have to
Dobbs.
bring Josh Dobbs.
yeah, that's a possibility.
He's rocking number 11.
I like Dobbs though. I
Throwing
want to
it
see
back.
Dobbs. I want to see Dobbs have success.
All right, moving on. We got the Chiefs and the Seahawks. Seahawks on the road, Chiefs at home. Kansas City's a 10-point favorite. I am going to go Chiefs in this game, but I'm already calling it now. My lock of the week is Seahawks plus 10.
That's a very good lock because I agree. I do think it's going to be closer than a 10-point game. But what do we know about Kansas City? They don't lose at home in November and December and January most of the time. So, yeah, home game, yeah, most of the time. But I mean, like I said, November and December they don't lose at home. Give me Kansas City.
Jack?
Chiefs all the way.
Riley?
Looking at this, I'm starting to think New Orleans gonna be that game that like screws us all over, and
Yeah.
like that's gonna be the lock that we or the sweep
Yep.
that we all get wrong. But yeah, you can't get too cute with this. Kansas City's gonna win this.
We swept
game in
every game this
Arrowhead.
far?
Yep.
So far, that's another sweep.
All right, moving on. We got Giants, Vikings. Give me the Vikings. I already told you how I feel about that one.
Dude,
Yeah.
this is going to be the one. I'm going in the opposite direction this week. The Giants are going to win this game because the Vikings, let's be honest, they should have lost last week. I know they came out in the second half and did all that, but dude, they were down 33 in the first half to the Colts.
It was bad.
I think the Giants, they know this is basically must win for them from here on out. So they're playing with desperation. I'm going to take the Giants close win on the road.
I think with them beating Washington, it's not necessarily must win. I think they could actually afford a loss and find their way into postseason. But yeah, they're going to play their heart out and they're going to want to win. I'm just not a Giants believer. I still am not a Giants believer even after they beat the Commanders in DC. So I'm going to take Minnesota, protecting home field, getting the dub.
Yeah, I've got to go with Minnesota. They're just a much better team than the Giants, like you said. The DBs just cannot match up with that potent passing attack. Got to go with Minnesota. First non-sweep.
All right, moving on. We got Bengals at the Patriots. Give me Cincy.
Yeah, this Bengals have been too good lately, man. Yeah, let's go with Cincinnati.
I got to start making. How many games am I down?
3.
Just one behind Bryson.
I'm down 3 total from the
behind
leader.
No, you're down
Jack
4
or
total. You're
Joseph.
down 4 games to Bryson.
Man, talk about must win. New England's got to win this game. And it's in their own
Look
house.
at him hyping himself up to take the pick.
I honestly was going to pick New England, but then they lost that to the Raiders. And it's just, when the Bengals came back against Brady, this is not the time to get cute. Not this one. I'm taking Cincy.
Make that another sweep.
Yeah, this is
time
gonna
for
be
Cincy.
it's gonna be a boring week. Up next, we got the Lions and the Panthers.
Ooh.
Dude,
Okay,
y'all know who I'm
listen, Hold
picking.
up, time out. I think I'm gonna try to get a little cute. I think I'm gonna go a little aggressive. Panthers at a bounce back win, but it's gonna be a close one. Give me Panthers at home and a bounce back.
No,
Dude.
this could be like a 28-point game. I think
Dude,
this is.
I'm
this
not
is when
gonna
the Lions
lie,
are gonna-
Joseph. If you wanted to get cute, you should have picked the Giants game with me because that's at least reasonable.
Patriots?
You know what I mean? Come on, man. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, all the way.
Yeah, I predicted it. I said Lions could win 10 games. I'm gonna stick with my guns. I can't back off of that now. I'm gonna pick them to win out. So I'm going with the Lions.
All right, moving on. We got Falcons and Ravens in Baltimore.
Jeez. Oh, this is an ugly game. This is
Is
so
Lamar
ugly.
is Lamar gonna be back for this game?
He's
I
missed
don't think so.
practice. At
Nope.
the time we're recording, he has not practiced yet.
Wow. Man, it is late in the week. Okay. I'm gonna do it. Give me Desmond Ritter first win. Give me Desmond Ritter's
Dude,
first win as a pro. Give it to me.
Joseph.
I'm getting risky. Give it to me.
Hey, I'm with you.
Yes.
Give me the Falcons. Give me the
Yes.
Falcons in this
Okay,
game.
brilliant. This is where I catch up here. Okay, yeah, taking Baltimore all day. Bounce back there at home, protecting M&T Bank. They're gonna win this game. Come on, guys.
You were just talking about how bad it's gonna be for them to have to shut out
I don't
Anthony
care.
Brown.
Have you watched the Falcons this year?
Yeah,
Yeah, they're an up and down team.
Painful.
Up and
Tyler
down team.
Algier is him. I'm going with Atlanta.
Yes, let's go. All right, I'm lone wolfing the Ravens over Atlanta in Baltimore.
It's
I'll take
Atlanta.
that.
No,
They
that's the
haven't-
top tier. That's
Listen,
top tier, Jack. You're
They've scored 2 touchdowns in the last
I know.
3
I
games.
told you they suck.
3 games they've
They've
scored
looked
2
horrible.
touchdowns.
I
Yeah.
This
know.
is another game that nobody's gonna watch. I mean, let's
I
be
just
honest.
feel like
Yes.
they'll eke it out somehow,
right.
like they did against Denver.
right.
Same way.
Let's keep it going. We got the Niners at the Commanders. We got the two
It's in-
dogs.
Wait, this is in Santa Clara, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's the Commanders at the
Okay.
Niners. My bad. We got the Commanders at the Niners. Two really got that dog in them quarterbacks. Taylor Heineke, Brock Purdy. I'm going the Niners in this one. I think Purdy and that just fits right in that system, and they're playing so well right now. Give me the Niners.
Yeah, I'm gonna go San Fran. They keep the pedal to the metal.
Yeah, see, my thing is, I feel like every time I pick against the Niners, they end up winning. So I think I should just go with the 49ers in this one, even though it is iffy, but I'm going to go with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, then to me the Niners are just the much better team, and it's not even particularly close. I think that's going to be an easy sweep for the Niners.
And then we got the Eagles and the Cowboys. Remember, Jalen Hurts might not play this game with a sprained left shoulder. And I don't think he needs to play. I think they already got that wrapped up. They're not in trouble of losing the division. They're not in trouble of losing the 1 seed right now. So I think I'm going to you know what? I'm gonna go Eagles. Gardner Minshew's gonna step in, he's gonna ball out. Give it to me.
I can't do it.
The Jags are gonna continue to torment the Dallas Cowboys. This former Jags quarterback Gardner Minshew is going to eat.
Are y'all ready to hear this? This is what I'm gonna say, right? I have not picked against the Eagles in any single game this entire season. That ends today. I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys at home.
Okay.
No, Jalen Hurts is the main reason. If Jalen Hurts played, I'd probably go the other way.
I wonder if they're
But-
gonna sit their wide. I wonder if they're gonna sit everybody. If they're gonna sit all their big guys. AJ
No.
Brown, Devontae Smith.
You don't know.
I doubt it.
You think
They
they
go.
keep them going?
Yeah, they're not locked at the 1 seed yet. They're gonna keep full force until they are. I'm taking the Eagles, and it's not because I think Minshew is just it's plug and play in that offense. I think Hurts is incredible, but Mike Leach with that news, that sad news, of course, rip the pirate. But Gardner Minshew was Mike Leach's dude, and you've heard Minshew tell countless stories of Leach. They were very close from their time at Washington State. Gardner Minshew is going to play for Mike Leach, and he's going to beat the division rival in the Dallas Cowboys in their home stadium. In Jerry's world, give me Philly, fly Eagles fly.
Yeah, I was on the game. As you can see, I got the gamer headset on today. I was on the game earlier today, and I was talking to my buddy who's a big Broncos fan, and he was like, I'm a big fan of Gardner Minshew. I like those quarterbacks that just got like that swagger about him, and Gardner Minshew definitely has that. So I'm gonna ride with my boy. I'm saying it's gonna be Gardner Minshew taking over for Jalen Hurts. Very similar. This is a very similar situation to a former a situation that took place a couple years ago, where MVP candidate Carson Wentz was having an insane season.
Don't compare
Goes
it
out
to
at the
Foles
end of the
Wentz.
game.
Come on now.
Foles comes in, has an insane end of the season.
Yeah, Riley,
Could we
you took
see
it too
something
far.
similar?
Riley, you took it too far. You took
Look,
it too far.
that was my boy Stewart's idea. So I'm just gonna say
He-
that, throw that out there. Maybe you never know. It wasn't probable when Foles did it. Nobody thought Foles was going to come in there and beat Tom Brady in the
Jack
Super
is
Bowl.
done. Jack's like, get
Nobody thought Tom
just
Brady
stop
was going.
talking. Just stop
Nobody
talking.
thought Nick Foles was going
Just
to beat Tom.
stop.
You thought Nick Foles was going to come in and beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
No one did. But
That's
It's
what
not
I'm
gonna happen
saying.
again.
Maybe it could. You never
not.
know. You never
Alright.
know. I think
know.
it should, won't Hurts be back in a few weeks anyway? Like his injury
He
is not
should
that
be.
long term.
He should be.
yeah, he
Yeah.
doesn't have a torn ACL like Carson Wentz had.
Yeah, whatever. Regardless, I've got Philly to win this game. I
Alright.
think Garner
There we
Minshew's
go.
him.
All right.
All right, moving on. The Sunday night game, it's the Raiders, or the Saturday night game, excuse me. It's the Raiders and the Steelers. Ah, man.
Dude, don't
like-
overthink it.
It's
Don't
gonna be like
overthink
8
it.
degrees.
Give me the Steelers.
Yep, same. 8 degrees. Go with the team that's more physical. Carr sucks in the cold. Give me Pittsburgh.
Wow. That's so crazy. I can't believe y'all both are picking the Steelers.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I'm going to pick the Raiders.
18 degrees at nighttime.
The
With probably some wind chill in Pittsburgh.
only reason I'm picking the Raiders is because Josh Jacobs is still in a contract year, baby. Come on now. 120 plus on the ground.
TJ Watt's
Raiders
gonna
win.
eat in this game.
Riley.
Yeah, Bryson thought this was about to be a little like easy sweep for Vegas. Nah, buddy, I'm taking Pittsburgh all
Back-to-back
the
lone
way in
wolves
this
for
one.
Bryson.
Come on.
Okay,
That's
Jack.
crazy.
Jack, I'm gonna give you a chance to change your mind here. It's Pittsburgh minus 2.5. I know you like.
Nah,
I know you like those close. Those
I don't
close
care.
spreads.
I think y'all are putting too much stock into Vegas. To me, they're close.
We are putting too much stock in Vegas.
No. By saying that
We are.
by saying that that's a gotcha line because the Raiders aren't clearly a better team than Pittsburgh, and the scenario of
Yeah,
the game
I
is
know.
what's making me pick Steelers. No, I just legitimately think they're probably a better team than them, and the scenarios favor them. So I'm taking Pittsburgh.
Okay, I'm gonna throw it back real quick. How about Detroit at minus 2.5 over the Panthers?
Man,
There-
look.
See, that's a gotcha line. People are gonna want to hammer Detroit, but yeah, so that is a gotcha line. But I'm still sticking with Detroit.
All right, we'll move into the Sunday
That is a good
games.
one,
We'll move into the Sunday games. It's the
Christmas
Packers
Day.
going to, Christmas Day games. It's the Packers going into Miami to take on the Dolphins, and I'm not gonna overthink this one. Give me Tua. Give me Tua and the Dolphins. Actually, I'm not taking Tua, but I'm taking the Dolphins. Tua's
Yeah,
just
I'll
a
take
quarterback.
I'll take the Dolphins too, and I will take Tua because we're gonna get to see the Tua revenge game for not being selected to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I would love for the Packers to win this game, and then like, oh my gosh, they're 7-8. What if? But the playoff hopes died this weekend in Miami, down there in South Florida. It comes to an end, and maybe we'll see Rodgers again after this game. Maybe not, but give me Miami.
Give me a sweep from Miami.
All right, worst game of the week: Broncos Rams.
Think
Give me-
Christmas Day, like gosh, get out of here with
This
that.
is the
Yeah.
worst
Give
gift
me-
I've ever received.
Give me the Rams. Give me Baker. Give me Baker at 3:30.
Dude, like this is such
Or
a
4:30.
nasty game. I mean,
I'm taking.
give me the
Denver.
Rams. Wait, Russell Wilson's not playing, right?
No, he's
He
playing.
is. He's
He
playing.
cleared
Oh, he is
protocol.
playing. Ah, shoot.
Aaron Donald might be back.
I don't. Give me the freaking Broncos. I guess I don't know. Give me the
Yeah,
Broncos.
they've looked all right the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna say Russ and Denver gets it done.
Without Russ.
No, even against the Chiefs, they look good with Russ.
Oh, this is hard. Wait, all right, Bryson, you picked Denver?
I did.
Jeez. This is a hard one to pick.
Hey, they both suck. Just flip a
They
coin.
do both suck.
That's
But any, meeny, miny, mo, just talk about his toe. I'll go with Denver.
I'm lone wolfing LA. Oh man,
There you go.
that's not great. All right, moving on. We got Bucks and Cardinals. Give me Tom Brady Christmas night on the road. He's got no more family to worry about. Give me the Bucks. He's locked in.
That's a crazy line.
He's locked in. He ain't gotta go give no kids no Christmas presents. You gotta get no wife no Christmas
He
presents.
still
He's
has
locked
kids.
in.
He still
Locked
has
in.
kids.
That's crazy.
Note to self: if Joseph ever gets in a divorce and already has children, he will no longer be a father to those children.
Tom
But
Brady is not a father on Christmas this year. He's got a
he
game to
still
win.
has
He's
kids.
driving. He's gonna win this game. Give me Tom Brady.
I'm still gonna pick the Buccaneers, but let's just be clear that Tom Brady does still have kids, Joseph.
He's
Come
gonna,
on
he's gonna
now.
have all Christmas morning to like, okay, yeah, here's your crap that I bought you that you probably already have millions of because I'm a rich Super Bowl winning quarterback times 7, by the way, or times 6, whatever it is. He's gonna be locked in for this game. He's not losing this one, especially not against the crap Cardinals
Without Kyler Murray.
without Kyler
And
Murray.
Colt, they
And
got
without Colt. Yeah.
cue the music. Jason
Is that
goes,
Jared
"Oh,
Garantano?"
it on a dime."
No.
Like,
All
I
right.
ain't even trying.
All right,
Hey,
who you
Trace
pick?
McSorley?
McSorley, but I'm gonna lose to Tom Brady. Hey,
Yeah. Riley, you're sweeping it.
Sweep for the
Yeah.
GOAT on Christmas.
All right, and on Monday night on the 26th, it's the Chargers closing out the week against the Colts in Indianapolis. Give me Justin Herbert and the Chargers. I think they're on a good roll right now, and the Colts are just in shambles after the embarrassment that was Week 15. Chargers.
there was once a
Yes,
time, Joseph,
easy.
that Nick Foles took over a job late in the season, and when and they made the playoffs and then they won the Super Bowl, and the Colts aren't mathematically eliminated. Oh, nope, doesn't happen. Give me Bolts. Yeah, here's the
Yeah,
Nick
no, it's the
Foles tour.
Chargers. No question for me after. I mean, they didn't have a great week last week against the Titans, but still, they were a much better team.
Let's end our Week 16 picks with a sweep for Los Angeles Chargers and Jay Herbo.
All right, with that, let's get into our locks of the week and close this episode up. Let's go look at the records. I'm still currently in first at 27 and 18. In second place is Riley at 23 and 19. Then it's
25
Bryson.
and 20.
Oh, have you not updated the locks on the doc yet?
I updated on the. I did it wrong. But yeah. I'm 25 and 20.
Okay.
Jack's 19 and 26 in last place, and Bryson is 22 and 23 in third place.
Hey,
so
I'm coming back. I'm
You're the
coming
He is coming
back.
back.
You just haven't updated your own. That was the only one.
Okay.
But all right, so that's the logs leaders. I'm in first place.
Bryson had his first perfect week last week.
Everybody,
Let's
congratulations,
go.
Bryson.
Jack, come on now. You're
Jack,
the
you
only
need a-
one that
you need
does
a
not
perfect
have a
week,
perfect
man.
week.
Yeah, I do.
No, you
Yo,
don't.
You're
Y'all
the
just
only
didn't
one
put
that
it
has not
down.
had a.
Y'all forgot about it. There's that one
No.
week, remember? And I said, hey, I got a perfect week. Remember that? Yeah.
No.
That was
yeah,
when
right.
I did it.
Hey, you're talking to a 5-time perfect week champ right here. All
You've
right.
had
Yeah,
two
dude.
imperfect
I'm
weeks.
hanging the banner now. I'm putting the banner up five times. Yeah, that's the only thing I got going for me because I blew it in the pick'em records. But I'll get things started. I already said one of them, and that is the Chiefs and Seahawks. I'm going Seahawks plus 10. I get this game is in Kansas City, difficult place to play, but the Seahawks are used to playing in a difficult place to play over there in Lumen Field. They like the noise. That offense is good. That defense is bad. And the Chiefs have been playing a lot of close games lately. So give me the Seahawks to cover that spread. And then I am going to go over to the oh man, that is a low over under. I was going to pick the Falcons Ravens under, but that is at 36 and that is really low. Oh man.
Wow.
Um
Was that 18 points each?
yeah, that is
That's honestly not unrealistic.
that's bad. Okay, here.
There's gonna be a lot of running the football.
I'll give you this one. Give me the Bucks Cardinals under. It's at 40.5. No, yeah, give me the under. Bucks Cardinals under at 40.5. I like it. It's a little risky.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna go that one. And then my lock of the week, I was gonna think Derrick Henry. I was gonna take a Derrick Henry, but I was gonna make my own line, and I was gonna go 150 total yards. But I'm not gonna do that because that's a really risky, and they don't have an official line out for Derrick Henry yards yet, and I don't want to risk it. So give me Justin Jefferson at over 96.5. I've been riding with the boy all year. I rode with him on a couple locks already. I'm thinking he's going to hit that mark. He's going to start this week, and I'm telling you, he's going to have 115 yards or more in this game. Give me Jay Jettas.
All right, got my
It's
locks
at
here.
96.5, by the way, not 115.
Y'all hating on me for not going perfect week. Well, this is the week, okay? Christmas
He's
is coming.
crafted it up in the
Santa
lab.
Claus is going to bless me with a perfect week this week. All right, let's go. Starting off Thursday nighter, Trevor Lawrence over 199.5 pass yards. Trevor
that's
Sunshine
free
Said
money.
over what?
199.5.
That's free money. What?
Ooh, exactly. Sunshine's going to dice up the mint and green. All right, now give me the Chargers minus 4.5 against the putrid Indianapolis Colts on Monday night. And then the Eagles plus 5. Even if the Cowboys win, I think it's by a field goal or less.
Eagles are plus 5?
On Caesars.
Wow.
People are not buying into Minshew Mania, Joseph.
Well, we are.
They need to start fearing the stash because the stash is powerful.
It is.
Oh yeah.
And the jorts.
I'm not buying into it. I will tell you that for sure. Well, I'm gonna start easy. The first one I'm gonna go with is Dalvin Cook over 73.5 rushing yards. That's gonna be my first one. I think that's pretty solid pick this week going against the Giants.
Kayvon Thibodeau, he's been playing good.
I mean, yeah, still, I still think he's gonna get it though. Give me, I know it's a low under, but give me the under in Titans versus Texans. It is at 35.5. I know that's low. It's very low, but the Titans just put up 14 points last week. I know that maybe if the Texans, and I'm not expecting the Texans to come out and score a lot either. And then
Chiga Conquo's getting 3 touchdowns by himself.
dude,
Wow. All right.
that
Hey,
would be
put some money
crazy.
on that. You'll be a millionaire.
I'm kidding.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Not
yeah.
happening.
If you feel that way, you can go ahead and go for it. And then give me Chargers minus 3.5 against the Colts.
Hey, that's what I just did.
Oh wait, did you actually just do that?
He
Yeah.
did he had minus 4.
That's what Caesar
wait,
said. Minus 4.5.
my fault. My fault.
Dude,
You can take the same one if you
Do
want.
Falcons plus 7 against Balti. I liked that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
picked,
did
I,
pick-
I, I
yeah, you
picked the
picked Falcons
Falcons.
straight
You know
up.
what?
Oh,
Jack?
my bad. I wasn't listening.
ATL plus what was
That's
it?
my bad.
7.5.
Plus 7.
There's
yeah.
7. Interesting.
Nah, plus 7.5.
Well, Vikings minus 4 against the Giants.
They've played so many one-score games. I'm not.
Dude, I can't
doing
even
that.
do that. I picked the Giants.
Oh, that's right.
Nah,
it, Bryson.
no, I'll take Falcons. I'll take Falcons plus 7.
I mean, if you picked them straight up, that's a great pick.
Yeah.
All right, so for me, I like doing the all player props. I had fun doing that last week. I'm gonna do it again this week. Kind of got ruined by I thought it was gonna be a whole lot snowier in Buffalo. It was not very snowy for most of the game until like the very end. So obviously Josh Allen, like I said, I picked him as my dog of the week. I picked his under last week. Not gonna make that mistake again with Mr. Allen. For my locks this week, Jack, Owen to your Jacksonville Jaguars. Evan Ingram has been balling out. They have his line at 4 receptions right now. I'm taking that over. He's had way over that, and I think he's had 5, like 11 and 8 catches in the last few games. So I'm going with Evan Ingram for sure to get over 4 receptions. Dalvin Cook, anytime tutty. I think he's got that in the bag, receiving or rushing. It's gonna happen. And Justin Herbert, I'm going with his over 310 yards from scrimmage. I think he's going to get that pretty easily against Indy.
That's hefty.
He's had over 310 yards in each of the last 3 games. So he's hot right now.
Very well.
I'm gonna ride with him.
All right, those are the locks of the week for the Christmas week of cover 4. And
What we asking for? What we
I
asking
would say,
for?
before we get out of here, what's your top Christmas list? We'll start with Bryson.
Dude, y'all know what mine is. I just want the Grizzlies to beat the Warriors. That's all I ask for.
Yep.
Yeah, this is your full circle moment.
You're gonna be there, right?
What we've been waiting
You're
for,
gonna-
Bryson.
you're
Yes,
gonna be there, right?
yes, I will be there. I will
There
be
you go.
there, flying out
In
in 2
Memphis?
days. So, no, in San
No.
Francisco.
You're gonna be.
That's gonna be
you're in the Bay
awesome,
Area for
dude.
it.
That's gonna be so awesome.
Oh snap! That is great.
I'm jealous, dude. That's gonna be an insane game.
Riley, what's on
That'd
the
be
top
awesome.
what's on the top of your list? What are you asking Santa Claus for?
So kind of along in the same veins as Bryson. I'm gonna be going out to a Grizzlies game at some point soon. I forget which one, but I'm going to a Grizzlies game. Sports event, it's a lot of fun. I like the Grizzlies, so it'll be my first Grizzly game. I'm excited about that.
Jack?
Very
Oh.
nice.
I'm asking Santa Claus. Number one on my list is a win in all of my fantasy leagues that I'm currently in the playoffs.
A
Okay.
good one.
I'm such a good player. Like all the leagues, it's just playoff bound all the time. So give me wins across the board. Maybe a little money here sprinkled in on FanDuel betting. I'll really appreciate it, Santa. So that is what I'm asking for on a brilliant football weekend coming up.
What am I asking for? I'm just asking for the Tennessee Titans to not embarrass me this week. Don't go out and do
Embarrass
something.
you?
Yes, embarrass me as a fan. Listen, we talked about it earlier today. Tickets for this game on Saturday are going for as low as $3, all the way up to $15.
Dude, it's gonna be like
$3?
6 degrees outside.
$3. I looked on ticket. There are on SeatGeek.
Yeah, you should
$3.
go.
$3.
No,
I'll have work. But listen,
Jack, would you want to sit
$3.
outside for 3 hours
It's Titans. If you
and
love
watch
them, you
the-
go.
In
two of the worst
6
offenses
degree-
in the
in
league.
6-degree weather?
Listen.
I ain't going because I ain't a Titans fan. But y'all should go.
So Santa Claus, if you could just don't bring me embarrassment, and that's all I want is to not be embarrassed by this team, and to have them ruin a shot at the playoffs because they decided to mess around and lose to the Texans.
You got a Dylan Radins and Ryan Tannehill injury for Christmas. That's what you got.
Yeah. So
Hey,
that's
bonus
what I'm
perk maybe
asking.
for Santa to bring me. Santa, I don't want to get kicked out of our group chat again. I don't want to get kicked out of the group chat with my wonderful friends here at Cover 4. And
You
Rock
can
Solid
yell
Sports.
at, you can
I've
yell
been
at
kicked out
former
like
Cover
4
4
straight
host
Sundays.
Jackson.
I think like 4 straight Sundays I've been kicked out. So if I could not get kicked out
Jack,
again,
hold up. I will
That'd be
say
amazing.
I've never once kicked Jack out of the
I
game.
have never
it's
once
been
kicked
Jackson
Jack out.
every
It's been
time.
Jackson every
We're gonna have
single
to bring
time.
Jackson back for a legacy episode so he can explain why he keeps kicking Jack.
yeah,
out of the
I need to hear his
group
case.
chat,
Yeah. But guys, I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Everyone listening, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas or a Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. We'll see you guys next week because this has been another edition of the Cover 4 podcast brought to you by WDK's Rock Solid Sports. Don't forget to like and share to get all past and future episodes of the Cover 4 podcast for all your NFL news, takes, and more. For Bryson, Jack, Riley, I'm Joseph. We'll see y'all next week on the next edition of Cover 4. Happy holidays and Merry Christmas.